I'm back. Thank you for the subscription, Chica Chic. I appreciate that so much. Yep, we're back. We're back. That was so crazy because we were literally, I don't even remember what we were talking about now, but it was nothing bad at all. There are too many haters out there that ain't got nothing better to do with their time. Nothing better to do. Good morning, Kaylin. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. It was wild. I'm going to be honest. I don't see how people have enough extra time on their hands to just sit and report folks who are doing nothing wrong. It's one thing to report people who are actually breaking the guidelines, but to just sit there and report people who are doing nothing wrong. To sit there and watch someone that you don't like while they talk about nothing is crazy to me. There is no tea over here. There is no drama. The only tea from that live was the fact that I tooted loud in the middle of it and nobody said a word. Not yet, Stoner, but we're working on it. I should have more information, I think next week? Yeah, next week. Thank you for asking. Thank you for the heart me. It's freaking ridiculous. Thank you for the treasure, Jamie. Thank you for the hand heart, green eyes. You guys are amazing. Hi, happy mama. How is everybody this morning? For part 2 of this live, because haters gonna hate, ballers gonna ball. They are, Diana. They are. They are obviously miserable in their own lives. I would understand if I was talking about something inappropriate. But we were literally talking about things like college. Whoever reports, you're always welcome to take a box if you have something to say. You don't have to hide and report. You can come up here and say it with your whole chest unless you're a coward. I definitely will remember that, Stoner. I appreciate you. Yeah, last night was a blast. I had a good time. I ended up not going to bed until after 1 a.m. and I am exhausted. Hey, Miss Dangerous. Good morning, Rose. Excuse me. Good morning, Squish. Good morning, Mom. Good morning, Vera. How is everyone? Oh, Miss Dangerous. You want to... Okay. I don't have an opinion. I have facts. So, a lot of people don't know Miss Dangerous, but I used to be friends with Christy, Gypsy's stepmom. We had each other's personal cell phone number, everything. Like, we didn't just talk on social media. We talked off of this app. And we were friends for a long time. Hey, Stewie. And when I tell you that before I became friends with Gypsy's family, I was Team Gypsy, 100%. Thank you for the level up cake. I was Team Gypsy 100%. And then once I got to know the family, becoming friends with her stepmother, yeah, no. Mm-mm. When I tell you that Christy is awful, I mean, she's awful. When I also tell you that I'm not saying Dee Dee was innocent by any means, but Dee Dee did not use Gypsy in the way that media has portrayed her to, and in the way that Gypsy has portrayed her to. For example, Dee Dee did not give Gypsy a bunch of unnecessary medications. The medications that she took, technically, she needed. Thank you for the heart pups. Gypsy stole all the time. She stole money. She stole pain medication. Everything. Gypsy had no unnecessary surgeries either. She had an issue with salivating. She still does. It's still not 100%. And that is why she had to have those glands removed. There's so much there, y'all. Thank you for the St. Patty's Day. The High March. There is so much to unpack there. It's crazy. Funny thing, because I was friends with the family, I knew that Gypsy was going up for possibility of parole for December of 2023 a whole year before the media announced it. I actually put a post on TikTok, and it's still up, that tells that she was going up for parole for possible release in December of 2023. And that post was all the way from a year prior in 2022, because I had the inside scoop. Mine doesn't, Green Eyes. Listen, here's the thing. Did Gypsy manipulate Nicholas? Yes. But y'all have to understand that Nicholas also manipulated Gypsy. They manipulated each other. Thank you for the corky. This was not the first time Nicholas had done something like this, as far as being physically violent towards a woman. He knew better. When he got to Gypsy's home, when he was standing at that door, he thought in his mind, and he admits this, to just grab her and run because he knew what they were doing was wrong. But then he just said, F it, and did it anyway. I used to email, before I became friends with Gypsy's family, I used to email back and forth with Gypsy and Nicholas through JPay. Jamie, thank you for the treasure. I appreciate you so much. And when I tell you that Nicholas will say things that would give you nightmares, like it would make your whole skin crawl. I have some emails posted on my page between him and a woman he was dating while in prison, Dawn. And it's enough to give you heebie-jeebies for days. Nicholas does not need to be released back into public society. Do I think he needs to be in prison? No. A long-term inpatient facility? Absolutely. But he's not innocent either. Yeah, I was friends with Christy Blanchard. I actually was on the phone with Christy Blanchard when Gypsy's series was first premiered. And Christy found it hilarious whenever Gypsy thought she was pew-pewing her mother. She thought that was hilarious. They're weird. Hi, Holly. And people wonder how Gypsy is able to profit off of this crime. Well, one, she's no longer in prison. Two, the son of Sam law is not for every state. But also, three, the account that her profits go into is not under Gypsy's name. It's under Christy's name. Christy has first hands on that money. And there really ain't as much money as people think that there is, because they go through money quicker than they go through toilet paper. Everybody's got to have their nails done. They got to have nice vehicles. They got to take all of these vacations. Christy is addicted to her own things. It's crazy. Oh, I don't want to miss any comments. Good morning, Nani Boo. How are you? Did Fancy set Dawn up to email him? Absolutely she did, Miss Dangerous. Yes. Fancy's admitted that. Oh, let me tell y'all too. So, Fancy hates me. Hates me. Not long after Gypsy was released, Fancy was supposed to do a interview with some news station. I forget what it was called. I would have to go back through mine and Christy's text messages to look. But Fancy was supposed to do an interview as the spokesperson for some news station. But she had not been legally the spokesperson for a long time. For multiple years. Fancy only told me about that interview because she didn't realize that I was talking to Christy on the back end. So she told me, I told Christy, and then Christy reached out to the news station and had it shut down. They were literally at Fancy's house getting ready to unload equipment, and then they started packing it right back up. Thank you, Marcy. Good morning, Lindsay Ann. Stoner, a little while. I want to say maybe a year and a half, something like that. Not like forever and a day, but for a little while. I stepped away. So, I don't know if you guys know who Katie Joy is. They call her KJ. And KJ was Christy's best friend for 5 years. I met KJ through Christy. Christy introduced us. Now, KJ and I do not speak now. I don't even know if she might have me blocked because I don't even see her live anymore. I don't know. But they were friends for 5 years. And when I stepped back, KJ reached out to me and asked me why I stepped back. And I told her. And then shortly thereafter, she stepped back. For pretty much the same reasons. I did not mean to invite anyone up. Please cancel that. I got some fat fingers clicking on stuff. I don't either, Roddy Mama. Once I got to know her. Yeah, no. Good morning, Gymnast Girl. I saw something about... I did, Holly. I did. So we were in the direct line the whole entire time. They had me in a whole panic. I didn't go to sleep until 3 a.m. until they finally told us that we were in the clear. But I heard how bad it was there, and that is devastating. And I have been praying so hard for the state of Mississippi. Ringo is doing good. He's actually still asleep. What did D-Mac say? Okay, so you guys are asking about the whole ordeal with Lolly. I see. I love Psycho Bunny. And I have a lot of respect for Psycho Bunny. And Psycho Bunny is the definition of a real friend. I don't know Lolly super well. She and I used to talk here and there on Facebook and on TikTok. But I do know that Lolly and I have had a conversation before about Lori, because Lolly was seen one time forever and a day ago gifting Lori. And she and I had a conversation about it, and she acted like she wasn't going to do anything like that anymore. I also know that Lolly has stuff going on in her own personal life that she should be focusing on, rather than focusing on trying to be, I don't even know the best word to put it without being rude, just trying to save somebody on the internet that she doesn't even know. Especially somebody that is constantly going at Psycho Bunny like that. That's not cool. Yeah, Niecy, I did. Has a warrant in 3 counties. That's hilarious. That's awful, Holly. Listen, where I am, we get tornadoes all the time. All the time. This part of Tennessee is legitimately Tornado Alley. It's... My mom and I were just talking the other day, and I think that Friday night was just the beginning of what's going to be a very bad tornado season. We do have storm shelters. The closest one to me is about 15 to 20 minutes away driving, so I typically just stay home. But I'm also out in the country. Usually they're a little bit closer than that. Oh, I need to take some sinus medicine. Good morning, Christy. How are you? Listen, Christina, I wish that I had a shelter here in my home. My mama does. It is scary, Green Eyes. My mama does have one. She had one put in at her house. Yeah, they do, Kaylin. My mom did. Earthquakes are scary, too. Don't say that, Chrissy. That's a cuss word. Aw, I bet he's precious, Stoner. Yeah, I don't... We get earthquakes here sometimes, but I've only ever actually felt it once. I woke up one day in the middle of the night, and it felt like my bed was shaking. Like, for real, shaking. And when I got up that morning, my stepdaddy said, "Did you feel that earthquake last night?" And I was like, no wonder my bed was shaking. We get them all the time here in my part of the South. Tennessee gets them a lot, especially my part. So, yeah, KB, that's what it's like here. It's freaking ridiculous. 80 degrees Friday, 36 degrees right now. That's why I'm sick. I miss my pit bull. Aw, I see him, Stoner. I used to have a neighbor that had a dog that looked just like that, and it was a girl named Rosie. And she was so precious. She was the best little dog. Dang, Green Eyes. Thank you for the shamrock. What do y'all think of my new username? Aw, I'm gonna have to follow you if I'm not already. I love seeing everybody's pets. I just followed you, Miss Dangerous. KB, I saw your video this morning. You are going to have to put your foot down. The fact that you told them you wanted to take a step back and go to part-time, and they instead added another store onto you, is fucking ridiculous. They don't want to let you go, so they're trying to dig their claws into you even more. You got to put your foot down. You need a break. Me too, Roddy Mama. Me too. Every morning, whenever I very first wake up, I bring all of my stuff into my bedroom. And once I finally sit down with my cold energy drink or my cold Mountain Dew, first thing I do is go watch KB's videos. Diana. I had a pit bull many years ago. His name was Chance. And I got him. He was very, very young. He had just opened his eyes. The mama had stopped nursing. So I took him home and I was bottle feeding him. And I had him for the longest time. And he ended up... Hey, Joanne. Yeah, so you don't get peached. You have to wear green. I'm not wearing green yet. I had him for a long time, and he was my baby. Like, he was a mama's boy. But we moved into a subdivision from the country, and we did not have a choice. And apparently, while we were gone, like if we were out running errands or something, the neighborhood kids, if he was outside, would shoot their BB guns or BB pew-pews at him and kick at him or try to, and the neighbors would run them off. So we quit leaving him outside when we found out. But then he turned somewhat aggressive. Like, it was not good. He became the alpha. But the thing with it was me. He was very, very protective of me, even when it came to my kids and my husband. Used to, my nephews could come over and play with him whenever they wanted, and he loved them. And then one day, Chance was going riding with me, and we saw my nephews in the subdivision playing, and I stopped. And the youngest nephew, not the one that was in my live last night, but his little brother, stuck his hand in my window to pet him, and Chance tried to bite him. Then it got to the point that every time someone would knock on the door, we would have to lock him up because he would try to bite them. He would try to bite my husband if he got near me. And then one day, my son was laying on the couch playing with our other dog at the time, Maggie, and Chance jumped up on the couch on top of my son, trying to get at Maggie, and almost bit my son's face off. I mean, he didn't get to bite him, obviously, but he tried. But he was trying to get at the other dog. He was almost 3, I think. At that point, I didn't know what else to do. And I had to turn him over to the animal shelter. And I had worked for the animal shelter prior to that. So I knew animal control. Funny thing, Chance knew animal control. He had went fishing before with our animal control officer, so he wasn't going to strangers. And he didn't stay at the shelter long. He ended up going to a rescue that was very specific in working with his breed, and they were able to help him. As soon as he could not see me anymore, he was fine. Good morning. Good morning. As soon as he could not see me anymore, he was fine. He went from growling and trying to attack everyone. And once I got in the car and I backed away and he couldn't see me, he was good. I was heartbroken because that was my baby. But I couldn't risk him biting anyone. And at the time, I didn't know what to do. I'm being honest. But yes, I have dogs. I have 2 dogs now. That's been, I don't know, y'all. It's been like 8 years ago, probably. It's been a very long time ago. I've been bit multiple times. I have a scar on my lip in the shape of a dog's tooth. And that was from a pit bull named Spike. Spike was a boy pit bull. He was white with black spots. He was beautiful. It wasn't Spike's fault, though. I was a kid, and I walked up to Spike, and I used to... we had 2 pit bulls at the time, Spike and Pumpkin, and I would grab their cheeks and shake them, And I walked up to Spike and I grabbed his cheeks and I shook them and then I blew in his face. I was very little, didn't know any better. And when I blew on his face, he pounced on top of me, but he got choked. And when he did it, his tooth got hung in my lip. Like, he wasn't biting me, but his tooth got caught in my lip. And it was bad. And then I got bit another time on my chin, and I have a scar there too, by a dog named Damien that was a Rottweiler. So I've definitely had my fair share of dog bites. But even back then, I was more worried about the animal than I was myself. I had blood pouring out everywhere when Spike did that. And as soon as I could talk, when they cleaned me up, the first thing I said was, tell my daddy to not unalive Spike. It was not his fault. Y'all, I was like 4 at the time. And all I was worried about was that Spike was safe, not me. I've always been a big animal lover. I still get sad talking about that to this day because it's not fair what happened to him. Hi, Tammy. Good morning. Good morning, Snoopy's girl. How are you guys? Thank you for the heart puffs. Yo, I'm sleepy. Me too, Tammy. I'm okay, Snoopy's girl, just tired. My sinuses are bad, Tara. Me and my daughter both. Every time there's a big fluctuation in the temperature, we both wind up like this. It went from being like 80 degrees on Friday to it's 36 degrees now. Good, I'm glad. She does good. Good morning, Shell Shock. I love your face. I'm okay, Diana. I ain't gonna lie. I got a little teary-eyed saying that, but it was just a lot. Obviously, when it first happened, they thought he bit me on purpose. And my mom yelled at my dad to get rid of him, if you know what I mean. Because, I was her little baby, 4 years old. They thought the dog bit me in the face. But he didn't. And by the time I could talk, because they didn't know what happened till I could say it. By the time I could talk, when they cleaned up the blood, it was too late. And I blame myself. Yeah, Tara, it sucks. Hi, Fest Lady. Good morning. I love it when it's warm and sunny outside. And it's just depressing when it gets cold again. I wonder when it's going to warm back up. I want to look. Well, it's going to get up to 63 today. It's just 39 right now, actually. Tomorrow it's going to be 72. Thursday it's going to be cold. I'm over the cold weather. Yeah, Shell Shock, how are the fires where you are? You have a great day too, Best Lady. Yeah, those tornadoes over the weekend, it was insane. I said it once and I'll say it again. Those of you who hung out with me on live until 3 o'clock in the morning because of me panicking over the tornadoes, you guys are the real MVPs. Like, for real. Nobody had to do that, and so many people stayed up with me and hung out with me and talked with me. Y'all, what about Boss Lady? She has really got a hard on for me, Villain, Stewie, W, and KB. She is obsessed. I think she's obsessed with me the most. She's been obsessed with me the longest, and she has really tried to take my life and turn it into her narrative for her life. Everything I do, she wants to do. She literally will watch my lives and listen to me say whatever it is that I'm going to be doing, and then she says she's doing it. What happened last night, Happy Mommy? It's crazy, Snoopy's girl. It's crazy. Yeah, I know. I heard about that, Roddy Mama. You know what they say? Birds of a feather flock together. I mean, you have to think about it. She came to this app obsessed with LR. LR didn't want to give her the time of day. Like, you know you're down bad when LR does not give you the time of day to try and manipulate you into giving her money. You know you're down bad. So now that LR wouldn't give her the time of day, she's going after LJ. That's pathetic. Could, like Billin says, could never be me. And I don't even talk about her, to be honest, most of the time. I don't say anything about Boss Lady, but she sure as hell keeps my name in her mouth. That's the only time I say anything about her is when she talks about me. Thank you for the heart me's. Because she's not relevant to my life. Like, she's just not. Yeah, Billin's doing a really great job on the Victoria series. I haven't gotten to see but a few episodes because I'm always so busy. Thank you for the team bracelets. But I know it's bad. I already know. And it's gonna get worse the more that comes out. Have a great day, Roddy Mama. Happy St. Patty's Day. Thank you for the heart me. Hi, Danny. I appreciate that. They aren't, though. They're not getting more comfortable. So here's the issue with my teeth. Yes, they're nice looking teeth, but the gum part is way too tall. Thank you for the high marks. You guys are amazing. The gum part is way too high. It's way too tall. So that's why they're not fitting good. If they could file down the gums or file down the teeth, it would be better if they could file down the gums because there's way too much gum on those teeth. Way too much. Then I would be great. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my temporary set and my permanent set up there and say the size of the gum line here is how these should be. Whether you have to remake them or you can file them down. Because they keep saying they can't make too many adjustments or then they won't be any good anymore. They're going to have to fix these. Like, they don't have a choice. And it sucks because the only teeth I have that I can comfortably wear, I have to use cushion grip, which is fine, but it's my temporaries, and they have a little crack in them. Kimberly, thank you for the pot of gold. It's because they get in too big of a rush, Tara. They just get in too big of a rush. Thank you for the shamrock. Shasha, thank you for the travel with you. You guys don't have to do that. Thank you for the shamrocks. I appreciate all of you. A little rack. Muppy, I'm dead. You have a beautiful day, Chrissy. Happy St. Patty's Day. Good morning, Muppy. How are you? It's too quiet. I need an energy drink. It is scary, Danny. So I used to have perfect teeth. Perfect teeth. JC, I appreciate you so much. I appreciate all of you. I used to have perfect teeth. And then I got pregnant, of course, and had kids. But also I started having these health issues that prevented my body from absorbing things like vitamin D naturally. And my teeth ruined, and they ruined quickly. Thank you for the shamrocks. And I dealt with it for over 10 years. And it's had a severe negative impact on my health because I had abscess after abscess, infection after infection. I can't tell you how many nights that I would not sleep and I would be in my living room crying loud, begging God to take the pain away. I would take anything and everything. I'm not going to lie to you. Whatever I could to either go to sleep or just take the pain away. I would go through a whole tub of Hurricane in a day. I would take way too much ibuprofen, way too much Tylenol. I would take BCs, Benadryl. I ended up taking too much a few times and started throwing up. But I was just hurting so bad. I'll be honest, I didn't care. And that brings me to this. So I cannot stand Gabby from the Drama Twins. I cannot stand her. I have been speaking on Gabby's lies and manipulation for a few years now. But there is a video of her having a really bad toothache on the day of Cam's birthday party one year. And she was screaming and hollering, and people were saying she was being so dramatic, that they've had toothaches. And you shouldn't act like that. Yes, Muppy. It can make you act like that if it's bad enough. I know from experience, and I can handle pain. I did a whole abdominal hysterectomy, not laparoscopic, a whole abdominal hysterectomy with nothing but ibuprofen and Tylenol. Yeah, it's very dangerous, Danny, but I know that it's also very expensive to get it taken care of. So, okay, Stoner, Mama. Yes, not your business. It does. So mine would be in my jawline, and it would go into my neck, up into my ear, and into my head. And it was terrible. Terrible. Yeah, my denture, it's the third plate that I've had, and it's not right. It's still not right. Right, Colleen? I will say I eventually, towards the end, did find something that worked. So I would take this. Hang on, let me take a sip of my drink. It was like this cement stuff. Like putty, kind of, that you would pack the hole with. So I would take Red Cross, and I would numb it down real good, and then I would pack it with that putty stuff. And it would last a few days. I would still have a pain in my ear, and I would have like an ache, but it would ease it enough to where I didn't feel like I was unaliving. You know what I mean? But I didn't find that until 10 years into it. But that stuff burns, Tara, if you get it on like your gums or your lip. And it's disgusting. But I did not care at that point. Yeah, that's kind of like what the Red Cross is clove oil. I haven't seen it. I'm going to have to watch that. What does she mean, silent protest? I do type fast. I type like 130 words per minute. I don't think I told you guys what I was planning to go back to college. I know I said I was going back to college for criminal justice. I start April 17th, but my goal is to become a paralegal. And isn't that hilarious that Boss Lady is a fake paralegal, but I'm actually going to be a real paralegal? You have a blessed day too, Tammy. Happy St. Patty's Day. I did too, Tara. Wait, you talking about HH and Peter? I hope she doesn't get him back. She doesn't deserve him back. She did. She inspired me. Listen, now I'm going to have to make a whole video talking about that cat. Thanks. I'm very excited. Very excited. But it's going to be a lot of hard work. And I probably won't be... At that point, I will probably have to turn my weekend lives into every other weekend. It just depends. We'll see. I've been on... for probably, in total, about an hour and a half. I had to end my first live because we were reported for talking about inappropriate things like rugs, but we weren't even talking about anything but things like college. Yeah, she can suck a big toe. Ain't nobody copying her. I had planned to do that before, like when I went to school initially back in 2018 when I started college. I actually started in criminal justice to become a paralegal way before I knew Boss Lady. But at that point, you know, my kids were really young and I wanted to do something that I could work from home doing because I was having a lot of health issues. So I changed my major. That's hilarious. I love Mask Guy Johnny. I'm glad that Mask Guy Johnny made it to TikTok. He's always been on YouTube, and he's been an amazing loyal subscriber of mine and Reaper's and Villains. He is freaking amazing. Every time I go live on YouTube, Mask Guy Johnny is always there. He always hangs out. He's freaking awesome. I'm going to do a typing test. I tooted. You do need to look him up. He actually makes handmade masks. It's so cool. If y'all didn't hear that, I tooted. And it stinks. What is this? It is what it is. I'm dead. He is a cool guy. I might have to poop in a minute, and if I do, I'm going to have to end. I haven't had my morning poo yet, and it feels like it's coming. Ducks in aisle 9. I cannot. I like your name, Mary Jane. My stomach is really starting to hurt. Thank you, Stoner, for subscribing. Good morning, it is what it is. I'm glad I can make you guys laugh at the expense of my upset tummy. Listen, I'm not going to be able to toot again or I will shart because I really do got to poop. That is hilarious. Imagine scrolling into somebody's live and the first thing you hear is fart. I'm dead. Yeah, I'm probably going to have to end for real, guys. I'm probably going to have to go poop. And then I need to take something out to the mailbox. I need to walk Ringo. And then I'll pop back on because I've got a pretty slow morning. So I will pop back on for sure. Give me 30 minutes max because sometimes it takes a little while. So BRB, love your faces. Gonna go poo. I'm gonna go drop a Stewie.